Hello, welcome to a new review video. This time we have again ham radio equipment here, and this is about the RETEVIS RT95. It's a mobile radio for VHF and UHF with a maximum of 25 watts power, and it operates in the EU from 144 to 146, US 144 to 148, and in the UHF band 430 to 440 for EU and 430 to 440, the same for US. Let's take a look. What's inside here? We have the manual in English here, everything well described. Also on the website, on the RETEVIS website, you have all the manuals there to download. This is what comes with the radio here on the accessories, standard accessories. It's the transceiver itself, the microphone, the mobile bracket screws, washers, the adjusting screws, the DC power cable with a fuse, a 10 amps fuse in it, 2 non-slip mats from 3M to put to the adjusting screws. Optional, you can get some magnetic, some antennas, some mobile antennas. Let's check what's inside here. The radio itself is here. The radio is well packed here. As you can see, RETEVIS, it's marked which model it is. It's a EU model for Europe. And yeah, here we have it. Very clean front panel. On the lower left, we have the microphone jack, RJ45. So here we have the speaker. It's on the down side. That's important to know. We will see that later, what we can do there. These are the holes for the screws for the mounting bracket. Here we have the socket, the SO239, which will take the PL239 plug, and you can also connect an external speaker here, and also the power connection, which I cannot identify yet, but if I can, I will show it in the video. Yeah, you see it's a very rigid housing, looks very good. Okay, let's now go over to the accessories we have here. As mentioned before, we have the power cable here, DC power cable, and also this is the plug. Looks very good, no problems so far. It's open ends, which is okay because I put Anderson power poles on it, so it was okay for me. And here we have the fuse holder with the 10 amps fuse in it, as you can see here. Very well built. So here are it's a mounting bracket here, and also here the screws and replacement fuse as well. The screws for mounting the bracket, and also the big screws for the setup of the bracket. Okay. So what I've done now is, take the Torx screwdriver, the 7 Torx, and just open the RT95, because I'm very interested what's inside and what is the build quality of the devices, because it's from China, and people always are very interested what's inside the radio, what it looks like. But anyway, for ham radio topics, I guess all the modern devices are okay. As you can see here, all is clean. There's no dirt, nothing. All is very, very well built. No issues so far. What I can see, they used the 85 degrees Celsius caps, but anyway, I guess it will not get so hot on this part of the PCB, and all the SMDs are mounted very well. It's industrial soldering, you can see that, and it's very good. And also you can unmount these 2 screws here on the back side, and then remove very, very carefully the front panel, because there are just some plastic holders here, and take care of the ribbon of the cable, because it's not very stable, so you can destroy it very easily. Yeah, here's a detail view again on the main unit. As you can see, all is okay. Here are the FETs and the ICs, which are not known to myself, so I'm not familiar with these Chinese brands. Maybe anyone know them, but just to show you what's in there, just for your information. And also here a closer look to the front panel, the back side of the front panel. And yeah, that's the inside. So let's now come to what the radio can do. We will power it on. You will see the RETEVIS boot screen short time, and then we will have the big screen here, which is very, very readable. Also in direct sunlight, you can dim it, but we will see that later. You have now the function buttons here, which is P1 to P6. And on the right, you see what they are doing. P1 here for VFO A and B, P2 for VFO mode or memory mode, which is working only if you have channels and memories, if you have stored anything in there, because otherwise it will show error, as you can see in the bottom here in red. Then you have the monitor. Yeah, what it does, it opens the squelch. So short press and you can hear signals which will not open the squelch. RDW will switch on the dual watch function, so you can see when you press it, you will see in the bottom there's the VHF frequency, the UHF frequency. Then SQL is squelch, so you can turn it off or from 1 to 9. Volume needs to be pressed to set the volume, which goes from 1 or from 0 to 35. That's a little bit annoying for me because I have to press a button and then I can change the volume. That should be changed, because when you usually turn the knob, you will set the frequency, and I guess RETEVIS could switch that so that when you turn the knob, you will change the volume, and if you press a button, you can change the frequency. Okay, second press on function button, you will see P1 is direction, which means that the display flips 180 degrees if you mount the radio in the other way, because the speaker will now in this image you see here that the speaker is on the bottom. So, and then you can flip the screen and you can turn around the device, also for mounting in the car. Maybe it's important, but take care, now the direction button is on P6, because if you now, we have to flip it back, you have to press P6 once to get it back to the normal position. Then you have P2 with shift, SFT. You can set the frequency shift in Europe, or maybe in Germany. I can only speak now for Germany. It's a minus always. For VHF and UHF, different frequency, 7 megahertz for the UHF and 600 kilohertz for the VHF band. And you see minus here on the number, and you also see the red minus there. It's set as a repeater shift now. That's what you can see, and you can also set it by knob, or you see in the background, enter it directly via the number, the keypad on the hand mic. Then you have SCN, which means scan. You can use a scan function here. Then you have the power button, which also annoys me a little bit, because you press power, then you set it to low in this case. Then you go to CDT, P5 button, or any other button, and it makes no difference. Then go back to power. Then my assumption was to see the last set value, or the last power setting, but no, it does not. It switched to mid. So then I thought, okay, there's something wrong. I go again to low, I go to another key, then I go back, and it's the same, it's on mid. Then I go to high, I go to another key, I also press power, it's on low. That means that it switches directly to the power setting. It will not go to the power setting menu and then you can set it. It will set it directly. So please keep that in mind. That was something that annoys me a little bit. Then you have the RC and TCDT for DCS and CTCSS to set it. Here in Germany we have CTCSS on the repeaters, which in my case, my repeater is the 71.9 here. And for RCDT we do not have any setting to do. Usually it's only for the TCDT. DCS we do not use here, so yeah, I cannot say anything to that. Then yeah, I'm out here. I have to go back to the second menu. Then we have, yeah, I showed you that CDT, RCDT and TCDT. You can turn it off. And you will always see it in the LCD what's going on here. Then you have the BND button, which means bandwidth, and you have three options here of the bandwidth you can set, which is wide with 25K, mid with 20K, and narrow with 12.5K in bandwidth. Short press on off will mute the audio, but anyway you can use a monitor in this setting, so this will work. As you can see, mute and monitor is working. Anyway, so okay, that was it for the mini keys or soft keys or whatever you would call it. Let's now go to the function, long press function, and we have the main menu, so to say. You can go up and down with P4 or P6. You can also use the up and down on the mic, or you can use the knob to navigate. Let's go to the function menu. What we have here is the beep. You can choose between 1 and 5 and off. Steps, you have frequency steps from 2.5 to 50, which will go for 5, 6.25, 10, 12.5, 20, 25, 30 and 50. Then you can set your display mode, which is default setting is frequency and channel mode. You can set it to channel mode. You can set it to channel name mode and channel mode, but channel mode is only possible when you stored something in the memory. So I have not, therefore the setting is not there, which is also kind of annoying for me. But okay, as long as you know what's going on, it's okay. Then you can set the squelch from off and 1 to 9, which is okay for me. Then you can set here again the volume, which also is a little bit of interesting because all these settings can be done with the mini keys, which I showed you before. So from my opinion, it should be not here. It should be just in one place where you can set it, because that annoys the people when you set something here and something there and you never know the exact setting. PWD password, you can set a password here on the radio. Scan dwell time setup, which means that you have three options. You can set it to TO, which means it stops when there's a signal and it waits for this time. You will set up in the next step. You can set CO, which means that immediately when the signal is off, then it will resume scanning, or SE, it stops once scanning a matching signal, so it will stay there and will not go on. And here is the SCT item, which I told you before. You can set the time for the setting TO, the time the radio will wait until it proceeds scanning. Then we have the next step is AOP, which is automatic power on setup, which means that if the 12 volts from the car are on, so if you start the car and then it will go on automatically, you do not have to press on off. Then we have the RDW, which we also saw before, which will switch on the dual watch function. We have three dimming steps here for the display, where I have dimming step 3, which is very good, also in direct sunlight in the car, so it's okay. Then you have the timeout timer, which you can set off or up to 30 minutes. I set it to 5 minutes. when accidentally the PTT's been pressed in the car, maybe something's laying on the hand mic or whatever, and then after 5 minutes it will stop transmitting, which is a very good safety setting here. Then we have APO, which means the automatic power off. You can set that as well. You can set it to 30, 60 or 120 minutes, and then it will go off, which is also quite nice because so you can prevent the empty battery. We have the TBST, which is named in the manual as a pilot frequency. Tone burst is more accurate, I guess. So tone burst for Germany, I know, is 70-50. Then we have a direction, which will flip the display, as we saw before. We can choose a speaker main in the device itself. We can choose speaker in the hand mic, or we can choose them both. RTDF means dissimilar frequency setup, which when this function is on, then the frequency in the upper area of the LCD is a receive frequency, and the frequency on the bottom of the LCD is the transceive frequency. You can also switch them, so if you turn it on or off. You can do a reset. All reset means all, that means factory reset. And the opt reset you can choose here will let your frequencies in and your names of the channels. It will just reset the functions you set. So yeah, that was it for the function menu. Then we will go to the channel menu, and here we have different options for receiving tones, receiving subtones, or transmitting subtones. In Germany, we switched now to, most of the repeaters switched now to CTCSS and not to DCS. And here you can set it for receiving, either receiving or transceiving or both. Yeah, we have set it to CTC. The power, same setting, you can do it here. You have a 5-tone encoder here in it. You can set that here to 0 to 99 groups with 5-tone encodings, which we do not use in Germany, or not sure if we use it in Europe, but anyway. Okay, let's go ahead with the tone decoding. They can also set different things, DTMF signaling on and off, which again I do not use, so I'm not sure what all these functions are. Signaling combination setup, it's the same, yeah. Then the bandwidth again here with mid and wide and narrow. Frequency reverse, which is quite interesting if you would like to check the transmitting station on the repeater, if you can hear it, if it's in range, and then you can just go to the reverse frequency. So usually you hear the output of the repeater, and then you can switch to the input frequency of the repeater, and then you can see if you hear the station there. Talk around is also possible here. Then you can set also the offset frequency and direction for VHF and UHF or off. Then you can go to lock. What we do not see now is the editing channel name and the busy channel lockout. That's, I guess, only there when you have programmed channels here. So that's, yeah, a little bit different from the manual to the LCD, what we see there. But if there's a channel programmed in, you will see it as well. Transceive on off means that you can put this device in a receive only mode. Which could make sense when maybe some kids are playing in your car or playing in the car, and you would like to prevent that anyone pushes PTT and transmits something. But yeah, I would then turn off everything if possible. And last but not least, we have the own ID. And then the LCD will display current channel DTMF ID or the 5-tone ID. And you can see that there in the main LCD. Then we have the mini key or the keypad menu setup. As you can see here, you have the soft button P1. do you see a 1 or maybe, yeah, as a 1 here in the first cell, and then the AB or the direction setting. That means that you have in the first function, you have AB on this button, and in the second function you will have direction for the flipping of the LCD. What we saw before. And you can now choose all these buttons and scroll through the settings and replace them. So you can switch them to other functions, VM for example, then you have it here. Or you can go and say, okay, direction from the LCD is more important for me to have it on the first menu page. Then you can switch it direction to AB on the P1. So you can more or less configure all the buttons. And also here you can see for the hand mic, you can also program those keys PA, PB, PC, PD for your personal usage. It's now set it to volume, set your calls. Then you maybe can set the power settings on the knob, and you just have to remember what PA, B, C, D means in your setup. Okay, then you have a DTMF menu where you can, and also the speed of the transmission. Yeah, but I do not use that here, so. Okay. I guess, yeah, that's all for now for these menu settings. As you can see, it's quite nice. Small rig, very small rig with just 25 watts. There's no fan, so it's absolutely quiet. It will get warm, it will get hot for sure. As you can see, the LCD here is wonderful, brilliant. You can read it, it's no problem. You can see here all the settings, the VFOs, the bandwidth, the decoding options, if there is a frequency shift set up, and also for the second VFO, also the supply voltage on the bottom. Everything is here you need to see, and for me it's very, very good display, very good LCD, and also the radio performs very good in the car. The modulation is okay, maybe a little bit more heights than bass, but all in all it's a very good modulation, what other OEMs told me so far. Only the speaker is a little bit, I will not say weak, but it could be louder. So therefore I connected an external speaker which has much more power and clarity, and I can use it in other location than the radio itself. So it's a little bit of a little bit more flexibility in the car, so you can place your speaker behind you on the seat or wherever you will use it. So okay, the last thing I would like to pay attention to is the hand mic usage in the car, because the mic will show you what's going on, where you are and what you're doing. So as you can see here, I now open the repeater. You would see I'm on the VFO B, which is marked by the white LED, and you now see the signal is coming in the green LED above on the B. I'll now switch to VFO A and then press the PT again, then you will see the green light. So you see always you see where the signal comes from, which VFO and on which VFO you are at the moment. So that's a really cool thing, and it's a really ergonomic. And also the brightness is okay. So for when the mic is in the car, it's no problem. So if you put it in the direct sunlight, you will not see the green or the white LED. So, but it's okay. So I do not have problems so far, and for this it's okay. Thank you very much for being here in the video, and stay tuned for part 2. I have also a German version online, and check it out. Okay, thank you very much, and see you then. Bye bye.